America that you knew. This is the new world order. Make no mistake about it. You're gonna deal with military mind games like you ain't never seen before. You're gonna see shit that you ain't never seen before. You gotta stay focused to see through the bullshit. Don't let these people lead you like a dog on a leash. You are not a horse.
These niggas is dumb, they ain't done enough. We got pieces that hit, we gon' run it up. Stay with 245s and they doubles up. Keep them outside of the window, we bundled up. Got the bundle stuff, nigga stuffed up. So far up, I can cough it up. I opt down, make them cough it up. Go to the view and shoot the coffin up. These niggas is dumb, they ain't done enough. We got pieces that hit, we gon' run it up. Stay with 245s and they doubles up. Keep them outside of the window, we bundled up. Got the bundle stuff, nigga stuffed up. So far up, I can cough it up. I opt down, make them cough it up. Go to the view and shoot the coffin up. Shit. You gotta love it. Love it. The world is full of niggas scoring, balling on a budget. But fuck it. Shit. And am I still banging or not? I will just not discuss it. Discuss it. Cause that's not for the public. And my destiny's written $1 million, been marching on a budget. Before I leave my house, I wipe down my 9 and I tuck it. Stay on guard from all this fuck shit. I live what I spit, I can trust it. You niggas is busted. Shit. On 183rd, where you find me at? I'm blocked when niggas get back. From a culture that's based on no facts. So what we say is facts, we still say it's probably that. From my cars and they bitch, when I go to their crib, I'm like, nigga, where's those Ferraris at? 90% this shit probably cap. 100% this shit only rap. Entertainment. Do not put so much responsibility on entertainers. As for me, I just stay in my lane. Niggas super gang banging, chain swinging, big dang hanging. Fuck the words that he's saying. They just following the cadence. I am not for the complaining. It takes too much energy. I need my energy combating all these frenemies. And niggas that want to see the end of me. What's a sin for them is not a sin for me. So go when I show them no sympathy. Until they show each other sympathy. Niggas empty, but ain't nothing empty in me. Niggas is dumb, they ain't done enough. We got pieces that hit, we gon' run it up. Stay with 245s and they doubles up. Keep them outside of the window, we bundled up. Got the bundle stuff, nigga stuffed up. So far up, I can cough it up. I opt down, make them cough it up. Go to the view and shoot the coffin up. These niggas is dumb, they ain't done enough. We got pieces that hit, we gon' run it up. Stay with 245s and they doubles up. Keep them outside of the window, we bundled up. Got the bundle stuff, nigga stuffed up. So far up, I can cough it up. I opt down, make them cough it up. Go to the view and shoot the coffin up. Why niggas spending all their money living in the dark? I'm living in the days of Noah, I'm just building arks. Water coming, water rising. Is it a shortage or is it climbing? Is it a climate or niggas wildin'? Secret societies mixed with timing. Either way, I stay on topic. I can't worry about shit if I can't stop it. I'm just waiting on death, I was born a house. Surrounded by niggas born in a project. With they mama emotion and lacking logic. All the shit that I know is what they lack in college. And degrees that they giving is pathologic. I just fly in the sky like I'm half a object. Shit. It's really real, I really feel like that. I ain't gotta be gay just to feel like that. I ain't gotta slay things and go kill a cat. I can rebuild the world and then fill it back. Niggas locked in the cage, I ain't here for that. With a minimum wage, I can't deal with scrap. How these rappers get paid, I can't build with scrap. Ain't calm building cities, I'm just super bitty. Came from hats for Leos and Billies. No response from my city. Niggas hate me, bitches plotting to get me. Hearing Glock sounds with the top down. Niggas talk shit when I'm not around. Homie, don't play that cause I'm not a clown. I always stay up cause I'm never down. Niggas is dumb, they ain't done enough. We got pieces that hit, we gon' run it up. Stay with 245s and they doubles up. Keep them outside of the window, we bundled up. Got the bundle stuff, nigga stuffed up. So far up, I can cough it up. I opt down, make them cough it up. Go to the view and shoot the coffin up. These niggas is dumb, they ain't done enough. We got pieces that hit, we gon' run it up. Stay with 245s and they doubles up. Keep them outside of the window, we bundled up. Got the bundle stuff, nigga stuffed up. So far up, I can cough it up. I opt down, make them cough it up. Go to the view and shoot the coffin up.
The brave. More like the land of the thief, the home of the slave. 2 million people go missing every year. Where they disappearing to?
You're that real New York Tommy, you heard?
Judge Shady Court, blessings.
I got Sam Brillo with me, you know the vibe, nigga. Alright, you trendsetters. I'm running on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, had to make a way. I told her mama move over, I'ma pave the way. I'm running on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle. seen a car flip. We lost Glizzy, and we ain't trying to lose again. Head tap him, if he move, niggas shoot again. Wartime, we got no picks, niggas shoot his friend. Ain't no doubling back, we can't get cool again. I'm running on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, had to make a way. I told her mama move over, I'ma pave the way. 100 on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, I'ma make a way. I told her mommy move over, I'ma pave the way.
Time, but I see clear. Gotta thank the man above, cause I know without him I wouldn't be here. But let's just be clear, I really set the bar high. Kept my wheels going through the storm like a car shot. Staying with you till you pull up in that hard top and make it disappear from a button, watch they heart drop. My bars hot, but my delivery immaculate. Being with a scope, so when it fire, it's accurate. Ice got my neck on froze, look like I'm fractured. It's the type of shit you gon' have to go save your taxes with. Real niggas still around, let's get back to it. Separate these Instagram niggas from who was actually lit. Before rap, I was trafficking OT. Getting pounds, breaking down the fractions of OZs. I had to wait my turn and watch the game from the nosebleeds. I'm from the Bronx where niggas go to war with their cold D's. Right, so I'm sorry if I don't trust you, nigga. Before I take from a man, I'd rather hustle, nigga. I executed my plan and got destructive with it. Real nigga, Hall of Fame, I better get inducted in it. I can't respect you, you don't check on your kids. Run around with some niggas, got you ready to bid. You don't give respect unless I see respect what you give. But whip for this shit, got separate his neck and his wig.
I'm running on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, had to make a way. I tell her mama move over, I'ma pave the way. 100 on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, I'ma make a way. I told her mommy move over, I'ma pave the way.
Weight pit, deadlift, cameras at my door, time for a seg trip. No body shots, leaving his head split. Shotty up close, blast your legs flip. Brillo, R.I.U. My gun kick like it no kung fu. Get home till you turn blue. When you in that cell going through hell, it's only you. Niggas leave, money go, bitches too. Red laser on your shirt, no missing you. Automatics, binary, switches too. Chanel or Celine, shotgun, red, yellow shells in the machine. Gotta cut him out his jeans. Back to the basics, sweatpants and Asics. Stand through this Hollison window, it's all patience. Rat niggas be wired up, y'all all agents. Find your body or something boarded up, fake it.
Running on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, had to make a way. I told her mama move over, I'ma pave the way. 100 on my wrist, watch me change the game. You told on your homies, love ain't the same. I see my mama struggle, I'ma make a way. I told her mommy move over, I'ma pave the way.
Y'all already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off those shoes and super violate that like button. It don't cost nothing to show no love. Tam Leo, thank you for sponsoring this war. We got a lot to talk about. Word on the street is that Fat Joe just lost a $29 million endorsement deal. Yeah. Now you know what it feels like to play with niggas' money, Joe. Fat Joe just lost a $29 million endorsement deal because those brands don't want to stand next to these type of allegations. So what I'm going to do is, before I even get into this topic, this sister, what is her page on? Tessa Tells. I like the way she breaks down what she's reading in the paper. So, shall we begin?
Oh my God, you guys, come and sit down and shut the door. Fat Joe has just been accused of Diddy-like crimes, and baby, this one is a doozy. What is going on? Remember we said that Diddy was going to set the level, and if the prosecution can put him away, there's going to be so many other people to fall. Baby, next up on the roster is Fat Joe, Terror Squad. Yo, let me run this down really quick for you because this breakdown is ridiculous. Okay, listen. Here's everything that's in play. I had to take notes. There's so much. Let me run it down, and we're going to go on live and read the lawsuit. The main laws at play, RICO. They're trying to get him on a RICO Act. TVPA, Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Federal wire and mail fraud, and unjust enrichment, fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Baby, let's get into this, all right? So the plaintiff is Terrence Dixon. Again, we're going to go in deeper, but we got to talk about this. The plaintiff is Terrence Dixon. He served as Fat Joe's hype man, writer, vocalist, tour manager, and bodyguard from 2005 to 2022. He claims he was never properly credited or paid, despite contributing to multiple hits and international tours. And when I said that, I said, okay, so this sounds like standard fodder. And I've been hearing whispers about what was going on in Terror Squad. But get this, he also alleges psychological abuse, financial theft, sexual coercion, and violent intimidation. Who are the defendants? All right, they're saying Fat Joe, Joseph Cartagena, is the ringleader. Pistol Pete,
Cartagena.
Pete Torres is the muscle and enforcer. Richard Josperetti is a business manager and internal enforcer. And there's Erica Moriera, is a fake lawyer who set up the shell companies for laundering money. Oh my God. And get this, and Sneaker Addict Touring LLC and Slate Incorporated, the corporate fronts for fraud. They also got Rock Nation in here, but they're saying Rock Nation just benefited from the touring or whatnot. The main RICO is Fat Joe. Okay, so here's the...
Dr. Ray Ray's Team King Poppy BX 100 all the way, brother. Thank you for sponsoring this war. 44 TBFL, New York City hometown salute to Haas. God bless you. The kids video, LOL. Cuban gave us a shout out on his platform. One content creator. Thank you for sponsoring this war, family.
Allegations, unpaid labor and song theft. So Terrence claims that he co-wrote and performed 20 or more songs. We all the way up. Congratulations, ice cream, etc. He was allegedly promised 15% of all earnings and credit, but he received nothing. Instead, he got ghost contracts, and forged split sheets were submitted to BMI ASCAP, cutting him out. I think that's the record, people. Hold on, y'all. I know we're starting slow, but it's about to get crazy. Money laundering and tax fraud. Fat Joe allegedly collected hundreds and thousands in cash and didn't report it. He used fake W-2s to inflate Terrence's income on IRS records to hide wage theft. The sneaker store, Up NYC, operated as a front, with employees flaunting luxury despite low official salaries, and defendants filed for fraudulent PPP loans using Sneaker Addict Touring. There's also tour exploitation and financial control. They said he was booked for over 200 shows, but only paid $254 per show, while the contracts showed that they paid him $3,000. His per diem of $100 a day.
Now you're playing with the IRS.
Was routinely stolen. He slept in lobbies while others flew first class. And Fat Joe allegedly took $30K Live Nation check meant for Terrence and used it to pay his own taxes. But y'all, let's get into this. The sexual coercion and control. Baby, this is a detailed unpacking. Now, there is a section of the lawsuit that alleges that Fat Joe used SMEX as a method of psychological domination, humiliation, and subjugation. These weren't isolated incidents, he's claiming, and they were rooted in consensual groupie culture. This was an alleged systematic pattern of sexual coercion used to break and control Terrence. Here's how it unfolded. Okay, now this is alleged, based on his complaint, but let's get into this, okay? He said he wasn't just performing music. He was allegedly forced to perform sexually, not for his own gratification, but to maintain access to income, travel, shelter, and safety. Fat Joe allegedly made it clear that compliance equals survival. You refuse and your flight home gets canceled. You refuse and you sleep in the lobby. You refuse and you lose your spot. Okay.
He had the nigga sleeping in the hotel lobbies, but we gonna get to that.
So there was performance-based humiliation. And one specific incident in Miami. After a show, Fat Joe allegedly brought a woman to his hotel suite. He ordered Terrence to sleep with her in front of a group with the bathroom door open, shouting, "Get your D hard, Terrence," or they're calling him TA. Members of the crew, including Pistol Pete and JB, reportedly watched and laughed. One joked, "Yo, Joe."
Word on the street, a word from TA is, allegedly, TA is packing, and Fat Joe liked to see his meat. Yeah. Fat Joe allegedly liked to sit on a seat like Diddy, and from across the room, he liked to see his meat. That song, "I'm All the Way Up," is about to hit different, knowing damn well he lying. Love and respect. Tell us your thoughts, Haas. Yeah, that song, "I'm All the Way Up," is definitely going to hit a little bit different, because while Fat Joe was sitting on the couch, TA was all the way across the room, all the way up, and Joe was telling him, "And you can stay up." Take the what and leave the what?
I'm not about to stand here and watch this ninja's deed. Terrence allegedly did not want to participate, but he felt he had no choice. Also, there was surveillance and direction. These special performances were sometimes filmed, sometimes directed. The environment was described as under surveillance. There were security cameras, management staff. They even said Rock Nation's extended team were allegedly aware. Joe was said to have orchestrated who TA would sleep with, watched and sometimes gave verbal instructions. Is this not sounding like Diddy and Cassie? And used the presence of others to enforce psychological shame. Now, he did say there was retaliation for refusal. On at least one occasion, Terrence refused to comply with the coerced sex act. In response, Fat Joe canceled his flight, left him stranded overseas, and cut off access to money or shelter, making him fully dependent on Joe's approval to survive. And there was also creepy language of ownership. He alleges that Joe made it clear that it...
Stop right there. So, basically what TA is saying is, when he went and performed those Diddy acts and played a male version of those dudes that Diddy used to have in the hotel, he cut the nigga flights off, cut his money off, cut his access to a hotel room, and left him stranded overseas. Because he couldn't get him to do what he wanted him to do no more. Let me say Fat Joe was innocent until proven guilty, allegedly.
His bodies and his actions were not his own. The expectation was be sexually available on command, never say no, or you're out. And this wasn't about pleasure. It was about enforcing loyalty through humiliation. Now listen, these actions are framed in the lawsuit as textbook sex trafficking under coercion, especially the forced performance under threat, inability to lead due to financial and physical control, repetition over time. He claimed over 4,000 acts he was forced to perform, and the occurrence across state lines intentional. You guys, he also claimed about lining him up. They said that when he started to complain, Fat Joe attempted a violence or a hit. Now let's talk about the retaliation attempt after he began asserting his rights publicly. Now, there's supposedly an audio recording of the setup. The lawsuit includes a recorded call between Pistol Pete, Fat Joe's enforcer, and a man named Percy, a mutual contact of both Pete and Terrence. Here was the plan.
Rest in peace to Percy. If you knew who Percy was, he just passed away recently. Percy was that nigga. Unfortunately, he died a very, very tragic death. But while he was alive, he was very, very respected by Fat Joe and his circle. And Percy wasn't trying to hear what them niggas was trying to do to TA.
Pete allegedly asked Percy to get in touch with TA and Terrence and convince him of the meetup so the Enterprise could deal with them, interpreted as a violent ambush. These are the key quotes from the audio. Yo, he can't come around the hood. He needs to be dealt with accordingly. My hood is gonna bring him to me like they always done. Ninja's gonna bring it right to where you at. He implies that TA violated Joe by speaking out and retaliation was expected. And when Percy refused to help line TA up, Pete replied, don't ever tell me bring a ninja to you. I'm never doing that. Of course, lining up, I don't know. I guess that speak for putting a hit out on someone. So, was there a real attempt? Well, from the lawsuit, there was no actual attack occurred. This recording clearly outlines an active conspiracy to set him up for a potential assault or even worse. The threats were specific, they were targeted, and they were made by someone, Pete, with a known history, that's his enforcer, of carrying out Joe's violent orders. This lawsuit doesn't just talk about verbal abuse, but a predicate act under RICO and witness tampering statutes. You guys, what is going on over in Terror Squad? You guys, what is going on? Again, there was psychological coercion that they cited. Fat Joe's mantra is nobody leaves Terror Squad in one piece. Reference past violence like the slashing of Cuban.
Did y'all hear that? Let me rewind that a little bit.
Again, there was psychological coercion that they cited. Fat Joe's mantra is nobody leaves Terror Squad in one piece. Reference past violence like the slashing of Cuban Link as a warning. And TA was threatened with being stranded overseas, losing work, and being publicly shamed. Y'all, what? The Enterprise culture, code words and enforcers, the crew used coded terms like ketchup, that meant slashing. Maitundin, that meant Maitundin. What is that? That meant murk people. Cowpie, that meant slap. And Corbin meant put in a casket. Violent enforcers like Pistol Pete and Rich Player were used in these recorded conversations, and the culture functioned like a criminal hierarchy with orders, punishment, and obedience. You guys, what is going on? Again, this is the most shocking thing. TA claims he was forced into over 4,000 sexual acts, often orchestrated and watched by Fat Joe. What? Okay, these are all alleged. We don't know if it happened. I assume that they're making a lawsuit. They have proof. But what is going on? Kanye allegedly likes to watch. Diddy likes to watch. And now they're putting Fat Joe's name on the list. Ooh. Refusal led to retaliation, like stranding him in Germany or Spain without tickets or lodging. And these acts were put on a humiliation ritual culture for control and subjugation. There was also exhibitionism and surveillance. In one incident, oh my God. Yeah, he used it as a tool of discipline and power. Also, he was scrubbed from linear notes, I guess that's music credits, ASCAP credits, and music metadata, deprived of future licensing, sync, and publishing revenue, and estimated over $600,000 in royalties, and fake contracts were backdated to make it seem like Joe was the sole creator. Again, after he spoke out, Pistol Pete and Rich allegedly plotted an ambush, and mutual friend named Percy refused to line him up and recorded a phone call with the threats. And again, the quotes include, he violated Joe, he needs to be dealt with. Now here's the last thing that I do want to say is very, very Diddy-like, and we need to talk about this. The lawsuit alleges Fat Joe had sexual relations with 3 underage women. We're going to refer to them as minions. One minion was a 16-year-old in New York City, received cash and favors in
1, 2, 3. 3 little piglets.
exchange for sloppy toppy. Minion 2, 15-year-old overseas, allegedly flown to Miami and given a BBL. A 15-year-old. And Minion 3, met at 15, allegedly housed by Joe and mentioned in lyrics, "She's my mama." The song "She's My Mama" allegedly describes grooming of a 16-year-old, pressuring her to oral smacks and trafficking language, holding rugs, flying her around, and pimping her. TA claims the lyrics match the Minion 3's real experience and say the girl actually confirms it. They said Fat Joe allegedly covered up statutory rape by producer Dre of Cool and Dre. Dre reportedly confessed to having sex with a 15-year-old singer, K Rose, and Joe allegedly used burner phones to silence the family, and K's career disappeared. Y'all, these are some serious allegations. We're going to go live later on today to read through the whole lawsuit, but at the end of the day, maybe that's why everybody's being so quiet and people are really, really nervous, because it wasn't just Diddy out there acting a fool. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the contact. Let me know what you think. We're gonna go live later and talk about it, but yeah, this is a Tyrone Blackburn special. This lawsuit is over. This lawsuit is packed wall to wall with stuff. And all I gotta say is, why didn't Joe settle this? We saw what happened with Diddy when he let lawsuits just go. And who got involved? Why didn't he settle? Why in this climate would you want that out? I hope to God none of this is true, but they say they got receipts, they got audio recordings, and they even got some of those little girls actually on record admitting, yeah, it's true. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. It's kind of really, really hard. You know, hard to crack jokes in situations like this. Atif, yeah, Haas. And they try to say Cuban was lying. Sounds like they owe Cuban an apology. And I'm sure upon people about to jump on this also. And you got to understand something, right? You can't call Cuban a liar because he got half his face sliced. Where's the lying at? And see, I owe this so much that I really, really need to set clear. But first, I want to go to this next video and deal with this dust mite real quick, because I'm not going to let niggas change the narrative in this situation. So let's get to this dust mite real quick. Forgive me for looking at this dirty couch.
The views and opinions expressed by Zip is not always the views and opinions held by Zip. Sometimes they come from the cat. The cat doesn't identify as a cat and believes it's a pit bull, so around here we refer to it as pit cat. In this video, we're going to be talking about the lawsuit against Fat Joe and the nasty allegations therein. But before we do, I'm going to need you to start off on the like button, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I drop these videos and all that. Alright, so boom, check it. Earlier, I went live. They age restricted the live, know what I mean? And so I just deleted it. I just took it down, you heard? It don't make no sense for it to be up. Y'all ain't gonna pay me for it. I'm not leaving it up, you heard? Respectfully. And so during the live, I was talking about how TA, Fat Joe, former hype man, put this lawsuit in against Fat Joe. And in a lawsuit, he's alleging that Fat Joe had some type of relations with minors. He detailing it, yo. He had a little Dominican from uptown. She used to do blah, blah, blah for such and such and such. He had another one from overseas, blah, blah. But he's basically saying that all of these joints was minors. And my thing is, how do you get a chance to see a man have relations with a minor? Like how he said she specifically did certain things for her bills to get paid. How does he know that? Did he watch that? Did he watch that go down? Come on. Where they do that at? After you see a man have relations with a minor one time, how do you get to see that again the second time? What does that say about him?
Why are you sitting up there trying to put TA on trial for the things that Fat Joe allegedly did? Why is the question, or why are you trying to flip the narrative with your audience on TA instead of asking, is there any more children that we need to go find? Is there any more children somewhere in the basement, somewhere in the closet, or somewhere in the hotel that need to get back to their parents? Should that not be the question that we're asking? Press 1 in the comment section if you think that that's the question that we should be asking. Every time we try to take down and deal with a predator, you always got a nigga that tries to save the predator. Because most of the time, well, in the words of Zip with the Drip, don't call me big homie, don't call me unk, because chances are I'm going to be sleeping with the same females that you sleeping with, little nigga. Not your moms. Your daughter, not your moms. He said, I'll be sleeping. This is Zip. So I can see why he would try to turn the one that's trying to bring light to a situation. When the FBI go into those places and rescue those kids, they don't ask the witness, well, why you waited so long to come forward? They ask, are you coming to court to testify? Hate these niggas. That's why I got to be careful who I put on. Because putting on this type of ignorance was dangerous.
What does that say about Fat Joe's former hype man, TA? Him saying Fat Joe had a minor on this occasion, and then he had a minor on this occasion, and then he had a minor on this occasion. What does that say about TA?
I'm going to tell you what it says about TA. It says that TA was around the same age as that girl. When Fat Joe recruited TA was not too far off from the same age as that girl. What is you talking about? Fat Joe recruited TA fresh out of high school, my nigga. Why are you leaving that out? Why are you leaving that out?
After the first time he saw him with a minor, he was supposed to get from around him. I don't want to do no more business with you. You out here messing with a little girl. I don't want to do no business with you no more. No, he didn't do that. He liked going on trips to Dubai. He liked going to Turkey. He liked going to South Africa and all of these places all over the world with Fat Joe. He loved doing these things. We never heard of none of this stuff. We never heard of none of this stuff while you was getting that money for Fat Joe. But now,
Fat Joe wasn't paying him. That's what the problem. He wasn't even paying the nigga, sending him home broke. And when he finally decided to stop doing Fat Joe's dirty work, Fat Joe cut his hotel, he cut his fundings overseas, and had him stuck in the lobby overseas. Because he wasn't continuously, first of all, what y'all gotta understand is, right? In the process of TA going out there recruiting girls for Fat Joe, because Fat Joe is way older than TA. Way older than TA. He got that boy by 20 years. With dudes like Fat Joe and Africa Bambaataa and Diddy does, they have you a part of their crimes. So now you become a co-defendant in the things that Fat Joe had him doing. You think he really wanted to tell on himself? Y'all got to understand some of the things that Fat Joe did. Google the case where Fat Joe was detained for assault on a female out of town. That really happened. Googled it. That was him and TA together. That was him and TA together. NYC Rockstar. Damn, Joe like to watch other men. Cock-a-doodle-doo, nasty work. Joe Hollywood is falling daily, but still people want to be in the industry. Nasty work. The only thing that's saving Fat Joe is Jadakiss right now. He already got his death blow on Math Hoffa platform, and for some reason the evil keeps coming around to Fat Joe.
Fat Joe don't deal with him no more. Fat Joe just put a lawsuit in against him for slander. You understand what I'm saying? And now this dude double backs and he puts in a lawsuit and he's saying,
now, yeah, let's keep that in mind. Fat Joe started with TA first. He was disrespecting him all over the internet. He called him a surfer, a couch, a sofa surfer. Called him a bum. For years, Fat Joe was on the internet disrespecting TA, calling them homeless, calling them bums. TA had no voice. He couldn't say nothing. He got tired as a man. He got tired of Fat Joe humiliating him while his wife was watching. And when he couldn't take it no more, he came to the internet. And when he came to the internet, every platform that he went on, Fat Joe had their monetization channels knocked down. That's why I took my videos down. But now, the cat is out the bag, baby. Fat Joe wanted to drink TA's leche. Wow. I'm not going to let this nigga Zip do that. Fat Joe started with TA. He antagonized that boy.
Fat Joe was having these relations with the minors.
Sort of like you, Zip.
Before the information come out in court, or whatever, I'm not going to pass no type of judgments on Fat Joe. I will say that.
You ain't going to pass no type of judgments on Fat Joe with your fake beef. We already knew that beef between Zip is just to get Zip channel in the algorithm. That beef is fake. That's for one. For two, you just pass judgment on the victim or the person that's trying to bring awareness to other victims. So you attacking TA, but you're not gonna pass judgment on Fat Joe. Who sent you, my nigga? What agency are you working for? Are you trying to be recruited by the Boule? Are you trying to be recruited by the Boule, my nigga?
If what TA is saying is true, Joe is a sucker. If what he's saying is true, Joe is a sucker. But I'm not on here. Let's get that clear. I am not on here like calling Fat Joe a sucker for what TA is saying. Or no, because we didn't see no type of evidence whatsoever.
You on here throwing shade at TA. You think we can't see that? If you was gonna come up here and run your big mouth, you should have stayed neutral and just broke on, the topic. You should have stayed neutral. But instead, what you did was you just slandered TA and gonna act like, well, if Fat Joe really did that, he did it, nigga. TA ain't lying on that man. He already got a paper trail on the internet where he was accused by a victim on the internet for doing the unthinkable.
Ever in the case, you heard. Now, if all of these girls come out like, yeah, it's a fact. Like, I ain't lying. Look, these are the pictures. I was 15. I was born this year. This is this year. Look, I was 15. Like, there's nothing we can say. You did bad, right? But until then, I'm not passing no judgments on Joe.
But TA, listen, but what you mean, but? So before the evidence come out, you just gonna make TA look like he's the foul nigga. Never trust a nigga that look like this. Never trust a nigga with a NYCHA hat on. Never trust a nigga with a NYCHA hat on.
TA. Oh, I'm gonna brand him sucker of the year. Yeah, I gotta do that because, like, he know if what he's saying about Joe is true or not. We don't know. We, us, the general public, we don't know if what TA is saying about Fat Joe is true or not. So we can't pass judgment. But TA know if what he's saying about Joe is true or not. Fat Joe know if what TA is saying is true or not. You heard? We could pass judgment on TA. Because if he lying, that makes him a lollipop. Straight sucker. Lollipop, straight sucker. Pause. You feel me? If he's telling the truth, lollipop status. Straight sucker. You know why? Because you was hanging around with Joe while he was doing all of those things. If what he's saying is true, you get what I'm saying? Like, what type of man is hanging out with a 40-year-old dude that's hanging out with 15-year-olds? Come on. Where they do that at? You trying to tell me you ain't never been driving around?
They do that in the hood every day, my nigga. Don't play dumb. They do that in the hood every day, my nigga. Don't play dumb. Niggas like you and niggas like Joe is the reason why other niggas like me didn't have girlfriends, or well, we had girlfriends, but we didn't have the girlfriends that we wanted in high school because you older niggas that was 10 years older than us was pulling up in your cars in front of the schools and y'all was picking up the little girls. They were supposed to be our girlfriend. The same way Fat Joe was picking up that girl allegedly. She was around TA's age, but even younger. TA was 20. She was 15. Or he may have been a little bit older, but they was around the same age, my nigga. Y'all niggas is the reason why dudes didn't have girlfriends in high school.
With them in the back of the back? You ain't never been driving around with them in the back of the back like you the driver, you the hype man. So those are your responsibilities. Yeah, those are your responsibilities sometimes. You to be chauffeuring Fat Joe around sometime, right? You the hype man, your TA, come on, we shooting over here. You drive, boy. So now when you got the little John, you see why it's hard for niggas of my caliber to really jack what you saying right now? Because if you a stand-up nigga, like you be trying to say you a stand-up nigga, like when we see you on Panda Chop, every time we ever saw you on Panda Chop, you presented yourself like you was this stand-up individual. You presented yourself like a stand-up individual. But now in your lawsuit, you paint yourself as a nigga that sit down and aim. Como? How? How on Panda Chop, you this stand-up nigga and all that, but in this lawsuit, you sit.
What are you talking about, Dust Bucket? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This shit don't have nothing to do with him being stand-up. It has something to do with bringing awareness to a situation that the courts need to deal with. Don't try to change the narrative, my nigga. You a manipulator, and you trying to manipulate the situation. This is not about him being a stand-up or a real nigga. This is about finding out if there's any more kids that have to be is there any more victims that the FBI needs to have a conversation with, my nigga. Don't try to throw a curveball. This ain't about being real niggas. This is about civilians dealing with the things that thugs do in our community. We don't care about you dirty, dusty ass 40-year-old hooligans. We don't care about you. We don't want you. The civilians, the real world, Even street niggas is tired of street niggas, my nigga. We all grown now. We ain't 18 no more. Niggas is creeping up on being senior citizens. Don't nobody give a damn about that street shit. Daughter of the Most High, thank you for sponsoring this war. True Hall of Fame. He trying to side with Joe because he need protection from you, bro. Let's get to there. What it is with Zip, he's trying to surpass me in the algorithm, so he has a fake beef with him going back and forth with Joe's people. That shit is staged and it's fake. He's not really beefing with them. He's cool with them. How's you looking fresh, my guy? Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for sponsoring this war. Zip looked like a roach from Men in Black when he took his skin off when Will Smith was killing the roaches. Shit. I'm not gonna let you control the narrative, my nigga. You crazy. Alpha Male, thank you for sponsoring this war.
Down the aim, talking about he had you perform 4,000 essays. He had you perform 4,000 essays. If that was one a day, that took 11 years. If it was one a day, that took 11 years. 571 weeks, 131 months. Yeah, that's a long time, brother. That's a long time. 4,000 days. That's 10 years and 11 months. That's 571 weeks. That's 131 months. You telling me he had you doing an essay every day? Come on, bro.
What man don't like to have sex every day? You doing tours. You in hotels. You seeing the finest, beautiful, the most beautifulest women in the crowd every day. What man don't like sleeping with beautiful women every day? Now you want to play dumb, Zip? What man do not like sleeping with beautiful women? Come on, stop it, my nigga. Now you're going to act like every time as a man, especially in the summertime, we going outside and the women out there looking beautiful. Like every time I go into Walmart or these supermarkets and it be crowded, all I do, I ain't going to lie, I be sitting up there staring at all the fat asses. Yeah, I do. I sure enough do. Like a straight perv. That's why you women out there, stop sending your man outside horny. Do not send your man outside horny. Give him some before he go outside. Then give him some when he come home. Don't send that nigga outside backed up. The women be looking beautiful in the summertime. Everybody's showing out. Hell you talking about, Zip? What are you talking about? Most men that used to be fly like me, that was a looker like me, some of us be having sex with women, 3 or 4 different women a day. 3 or 4 different women a day. We talking about the pretty boys, my nigga, the niggas that get all the girls. We not talking about the old head, like, nigga, you was in jail most of your life. So you wouldn't know nothing about them days when you got a different girlfriend on every block. And you leave one shorty, then you go to the next year. Zip, you would never know nothing about that, my nigga. You would never know nothing about that kind of lifestyle, my nigga.
Come on, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, man. I hope to Allah that what they saying about Fat Joe is not true. I hope, as much as Fat Joe be capping, I hope they capping about Fat Joe right now, you heard? Because as much as we get on here and we like take them up top for lying and all of that, We do that to niggas we grew up with all the time. You heard? Oh, you lying ass nigga. We do that to niggas. Some of our friends, they just lie all of the time. We know they be lying. They just lie all of the time. You heard? We know all of us got those kind of mans, homie. All of y'all, if y'all females watching, y'all got those kind of homegirls that just lie for no reason. Fat Joe is one of them. We hope to God that these accusations and all of that allegations is false. You know what I'm saying? Because we would hate to be looking at him like that kind of creep. You know, some of us feel a certain type of way about how he dealt with Big Pun family after Big Pun died. You know what I mean? Me, I feel half and half. I feel like he ain't have to do nothing for the family, and I feel like he should have did something for the family. But I feel like that right there is neither here nor there in this particular situation. Right?
The fact that the courts made Fat Joe give Liza a couple of $1 million that he stole from her, and you talking about you don't feel like he had to give the family nothing? Get out of here, you water bug. Get out of here, you water bug.
Now, I hope what TA has said about Fat Joe is not true. Let's get to that. Let's get to that.
Enjoy, man. Good job, man. You know what I'm saying?
And get that little retarded ass kid out of here.
Anybody who does. And I talk about the shit nobody's gonna talk about.
Shout out to the 4,100 people in the building. Everybody write 4,000 in the comment section before they pull the numbers down. Watch them pull the numbers down. Watch them snatch 500 people out of this live. Everybody write 4,000 in the building.
The three founding fathers, Grandmaster Flash, Core, and Africa Bambaataa of the Universal Zulu Nation. Now, Africa Bambaataa has shit like Soul Sonic Force. You know, there would not be no Luke from Miami or no bass music or booty music if it wasn't for everybody sampling Soul Sonic Force, Africa Bambaataa. Okay? He's beyond a pioneer. Since I met the man, he was always stand up, always a nice guy. I'm not copping out. He was always about inclusion. He was always about, if you Asian and you love hip hop, if you white and you love hip hop, if you black and you Latino, it's inclusion. They would have these Zulu Nation anniversaries. This is where my brother would go, bring the cassette back, and how I learned about hip hop. Now, because
Rest in peace, the money man. Now, y'all see how we had 4,100 people in the building and they just pulled us down to 3,400?
we don't like these people, we have different things about them, we cannot exclude the history of hip hop music. We cannot change it to our likings. If there's a new, because I asked my daughter the other day, what's the gender? She said, Dad, there's like 20, 30 genders now. Oh.
Stop it. Stop it, Joe. 20, 30 genders? Stop it, my nigga. Stop lying.
Okay, so as you see, as time is going on and the world is progressing and the world is having different views of things, people who have a voice are starting to distort the facts. Now, I've been hearing for the last couple of years,
last couple of years, like just before maybe like COVID, that there's rumors that Africa Bambaataa was, you know, it hurts my heart to even say this. That's why I've never talked about it. But some people are accusing him of being a child pedophile or somebody who used to play with the kids. I wasn't there.
You wasn't there, but you heard the rumors just like everybody else. And before you ran your big fat mouth, you could have reached out to me and asked me what was going on. But instead, you got on social media and accused me of trying to destroy hip hop. Accused Layla Wills of trying to destroy hip hop. And because of that, I lost my monetization. And my channel ain't never been the same. And y'all refused to let me get to that 500,000 subscribers. But we see y'all.
I never seen nothing like that. Now, I'm not discrediting anybody who's a victim or anybody who said this really happened, it happened to them. I'm not trying to make you think I know and I was in his bed or I was in his room or I was around him to see stuff like that. Me, as a hip hop fan, I only saw him at hip hop functions and he was a graceful man. And so I heard little rumors like this. It was news to me because I never seen nothing, never heard nothing.
Never seen nothing, never heard.
And so I just said, let me mind my business and stay out of it because if I don't.
Then how did you get here if you was minding your business, my nigga? If you was minding your business, how did we get to this conversation, my nigga?
Know it, if I can't stay there, if I can't stand there, if I can't see it, I can't really tell you what it is. Now, for the respect of what he did in Zulu Nation and all that, and I won't say, if it is proven that he's a child pedophile, that he's a piece of shit, he should die. It's a fact. I've always told you that, not about him, about anybody who does that, right?
Right, so let me ask you a question, Joe. Those were your words. Now, you know, those lawyers are going to send out a subpoena for Chiquita. Yeah, Chiquita, that's the name of the girl. Allegedly, the 15-year-old girl. The feds, the court, the district attorney, they are going to subpoena her to court, my nigga. Nowhere to run to. What you didn't you didn't think that a lawyer was going to reach out to TA so that he could sue you back? Talk to me, Wavy. Fat Joe, aka Kirby, aka Pedo Joe, aka Joey like beef in the crack. Let's get to what? Let's get the crack. Zip with the dirty drip. Ain't have girls how you had girls. He spent 20 years in jail. We don't believe you. Here, 20.
I haven't seen him get locked up. I haven't seen him, and it's not too hard to take a black man to jail for some shit people are saying. It just ain't. Right? So he hasn't got locked up. I haven't seen that, but I heard
I like that, the Puerto Rican Bambaataa. I saw that.
rumors of people saying that. So now we got a big problem. We got a hip hop museum that's run by Rocky, and the security, everybody's down. Look, everybody was down with each other. Even Fat Joe was Zulu Nation back in the days. Everybody was down with each other. So a lot of the people that are trying to preserve the culture at the museum are either really, really tight with Bambaataa or were very tight with him. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about Ahmed. I'm talking about LG. I'm talking about Mickey Benson. I'm talking about everybody. Fat Joe was there with Zulu Nation. Okay, everybody. This ain't no okay. This ain't, you know, I'm just saying everybody knew each other, right? And was down with each other, right? So now there's people saying, yo, let's stop the hip hop museum because these guys are cool with Bambaataa. These guys are this and this and this and this and that. Now we got the idea of, all right, do you stop the preserving of the hip hop culture, the hip hop museum that people invested their whole lives into and gave up millions of dollars and went all out to get it done, to make the Bronx a destination across the country, to this, that, because this man might have did some ugly shit that we haven't proven yet.
This is the speech that cost me, at the time, I was making 40, 50, and 60. The most I made off of YouTube was $63,000 in a month, and that was coming easy. I didn't have to work half as hard as I'm working right now to get 63,000, the highest check I got on YouTube. This is the speech that messed up my bag. This nigga did it.
But because people that are involved with the museum know him or are cool with him or haven't denounced him, they're starting to start the, you know, I'm going to City Hall, I got to complain, I got to this. What would happen is,
they was going to City Hall. That was Layla Wells. Shout out to Layla Wells for being a trooper and having the knowledge to fight. I didn't have the knowledge on how to fight these people. She was going to City Hall. She was going to all of the higher ups to get Afrika Bambaataa's name out of a building, which is a hip hop museum where children go. A hip hop museum where children go. We trying to get Afrika Bambaataa out of the hip hop museum, and Fat Joe is trying to get him back in. Why would you want him in a building with children? If you heard the rumors, crack.
what always happens, say shut the whole shit down. Because these people saying, yo, I don't want Bambaataa's picture in there. I don't want him this. He did this and this and that.
These people was me and Layla Wells. He didn't say my name, but we know who he talking about.
You stop the museum. And this is why whenever people that look like us, speak like us, come from where we come from, try to do something, we shut it down.
So what you trying to say, Joe, in order to protect the children and to keep Afrika Bambaataa away from the children, we shouldn't shut it down? We should keep it running? Huh? And this is why I can believe everything TA have to say about you. Because you smell like Bambaataa. You smell like Diddy. You smell like Russell Simmons. You smell like Hollywood. You smell like the industry. You smell like Epstein. You smell like Weinstein.
And so this is very, very, very situation because they're making a lot of noise out there. And I don't know what noise is because, you know, I told one of my friends the other day, my friend was asking me, relationship advice, and was like, I'm sensitive, my boyfriend, sometimes he says jokes, but not to hurt me, but I'm just so sensitive, it bothers me. I'm not one of those people that laugh at the jokes, especially when it's about me. And I told her, you must have not went on Twitter with me. Because if I go on Twitter right now, I'm a fat fuck. I'm a devil.
You said it, not me. Now you skinny and sloppy. But we ain't gonna even go there. And see, now let me say something, right? If YouTube is pulling you out, or somebody's hacking this YouTube account and pulling you out of the comment section off of this live, press 1 in the comment section, because you see how the numbers keep fluctuating, where they pulling 1,000 people out or 800 people out, and then the people coming back in. Here's the thing. Let me drop some facts on y'all now, right? About this situation, right? I come from a family, the first family of hip-hop. The Zulu Nation is the first family, the founder of hip-hop. There will not be no hip-hop on the level of this on without Africa Bambaataa. Can't take that away. I come from that family. The most dangerous, one of the most dangerous families in the history of New York City, right? Universal Zulu Nation went worldwide. When I was younger, if I would have came out and told my story before this internet on Africa Bambaataa, 9 times out of 10, shout out to the 4,000 to 4,100 people back in the building. Now watch them snatch the numbers back down again. Watch, y'all. So if I would have told on Africa Bambaataa, I didn't have an army big enough to fight his army at a young age, even though I would have still went to war with them niggas, I wouldn't have been able to protect my mother. My mother lived in Bronx River. My baby brothers and sisters lived in Bronx River. Now, let's move over to TA. Do y'all realize that Fat Joe got a crew called the Terror Squad? And his crew, the Terror Squad, was known for allegedly putting the pressure, some say extorting Jay-Z. Mind you, let's keep in mind, Jay-Z's a Brooklyn nigga that had Dame Dash down with him, that had Biggs down with him. The nigga had Tata, he had Brooklyn. All those Brooklyn niggas, cough up a long way I'm from, Marcy, son, they nothing nice. Been to many places, but a Brooklyn zone, right? He had the whole Brooklyn behind him. And the Terror Squad had, man, as a matter of fact, didn't they say that Big Pun went upside Jay-Z's head with a bottle? We talking about a elite crew of niggas where Fat Joe snapped his fingers. He could have had TA TV turned off. He could have had him deleted. Straight deleted. TA sat back for years. Wasn't saying nothing about Joe. Quiet. Joe sitting up there doing his podcast on Instagram, and every time he turned around, he called that man all types of bums. How many times you think that man was going to sit there and let you humiliate and embarrass him after you blackballed him out of the industry? Y'all got to understand something, right? TA was overseas. And when he got tired of doing what Joe wanted him to do, the freak-offs, where Joe constantly sat there playing with his Tootsie Roll. See, there's a lot of things. I fell back off of the situation with TA because TA was holding back punches. There's a lot that he still didn't say. And I told TA, in order for me to play with Fat Joe, a nigga that already gonna cost me millions of dollars, you have to take the gloves off. TA was holding back. There's so much that TA did not, there's still a lot that didn't come out right yet that I know. I spoke to him. And I told TA, I said, listen, man, if you're not really ready to go to war with Joe, I can't play with you like this. Because Joe is not going to play with us. He already cost me money. Now, as far as in the streets, him having a crew, his crew get busy, I get busy too. When I'm outside and I'm moving about and I'm not drunk, like when I went to Bronx River, intentionally trying to hurt myself, I wasn't in my right frame of mind. Nah, nigga, I'm in my right frame of mind, and I'm not letting none of them. Like, I ain't scared of nobody. Them niggas don't scare me. I see them in traffic. I got love for some of them dudes. But when it comes to a topic like this, when it comes to dudes, older dudes that like to swim in little kids' swimming pools, nah, we don't play that. We not playing the R. Kelly games over here. Age ain't nothing but a number. Nah, we not doing that. We not playing the I don't see nothing wrong with a little bumpy ground. We not playing that over here. We not going to do that, Fat Joe. We not going to do, my mind is telling me no, but my body, your mind is telling you no, because you know you ain't got no business looking at shorty. She's a toddler. Let's stop playing games. TA is a man. He's not going to sit up there and tell the world, yo, I'm really scared for my life. No man wants to tell other men that I'm scared. So, of course, he's going to stick his chest out. But the truth of the matter is TA's scared for his life. TA's the type of nigga, if you stand toe-to-toe with him, he's going to knock you out. That little nigga got a knuckle game. He's going to knock you out. He's known for knocking people out. He knocked plenty of people out over Fat Joe overseas. TA knocked plenty of people out overseas for Fat Joe. What y'all missing is the fact that these niggas that be in position of power be mistreating the artists or mistreating their entourage. And TA was mistreated. Picture yourself being in a house. You coming back home off of tours. And you ain't even got enough money to pay rent. TA left Fat Joe 3 times. Then you come back home to being broke and poverty and pain. And you got dreams. Then you got a fat nigga that's dangling your hopes and your dreams in his hands. And he's acting like he gonna give you the world. Got you on stage. You seeing the world right in front of you. Performing with this fat nigga. And going home broke. Performing with him and going home broke. He decided to get some alcohol up in him. Decides he wants some shorties. Ain't no females looking for Fat Joe like that. So you got to keep a crew around you going on tour to go recruit. That's what he did to TA. That's what he did. Instead of letting him get a hit record and pushing him, TA was with Fat Joe for 16 years. And nobody don't know him until now. What does that tell you about Fat Joe? You had a ghostwriter that wrote damn near 14 songs for you allegedly. All the way up. Your biggest hit. And nobody knows his name. But you will call him a surfer. See, one thing about me, I carry my whole team. I be on the internet defending myself, by myself, and still make time when I go live to share other niggas' music, show niggas loves. I make video clips for niggas that don't even have videos to the songs that they got just to keep them in rotation. That's the difference between me and these industry niggas. You just seen me push Lord Akim, made him a household name. Five Guard, made him a household name. Swelly, made him a household name. I could keep on going and going and going. On my platform, my main objective is to pass the torch or to help somebody else get recognition. These other niggas don't want to share the limelight. They don't want to share the spotlight. When I went to Academics platform, I done took niggas up there. When I went to Queen's Flip platform, I done took niggas up there. Everywhere I go, I try to pull somebody with me to share the limelight. But everybody don't want to do that. Some people like to have people under them instead of standing side by side with them. Tyrone's account, paying respect, love from London, England. Thank you, family. Thank you for sponsoring this war. Appreciate you. So I'm not going to let dudes stand up there and dog TA out. Yes, TA is scared. And right now, Fat Joe just lost $29 million endorsement deal. A 29, I believe it was with Walmart. He just mouth that. What up, boy? He just lost a $29 million endorsement deal. You don't think that TA should be in fear for his life? Especially now that Fat Joe know there's only a matter of time with this RICO indictment or RICO lawsuit. You don't think it's going to be a matter of time before the FBI start looking into these young ladies and going to find them, because TA know where to find some of them at. And Joe know that TA knows where to find Shakita at. So even with that young lady, my prayers go out to you. Because if Joe, you think Joe gonna be sitting up in, Joe gonna let himself sit up in jail like Diddy? With all them killers around him? Yeah. It's just something to think about. But it is what it is, though, right? Because at the end of the day, niggas like Zip with the Drip. What's the difference between him and Fat Joe?
When this man pushed the AC unit out of her window, then climbed in to attack.
Oh my God, she's a child. Come on.
I didn't expect that without happening in the neighborhood.
Yo, listen, I don't care what the age difference is between me and you. I'm probably trying to fuck your girl and her friends in them, and not your moms and your auntie in them.
Do you still sit here and say you have never been with underage girls? Can you really say that?
The young bitches is always me. They like me.
How young, my nigga?
You mad?
How young, my nigga? The young. The young. Did y'all see how he did that? The young. The young. The monster was coming out. The young. Damn, my nigga. The way your teeth was chatting. They love me. Damn, I'm looking for this video. Where's this video at? Come on.
Older men only talk to young girls so they can manipulate and have control of the situation. There's nothing that a 30-year-old man and a 19-year-old or 20-year-old have in common. That's crazy. And then when the older women try to warn us young girls, because I'm young myself, when they try to warn us, y'all get on here and be like, oh yeah, they're bitter, they're this and that. But they're not bitter, y'all. They're just looking out for us. Think about it. Why is he not with someone his age? Why is he with a child? I don't care what nobody say. 18, 19, 20. I feel like that's not really an adult for real. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us still live with our mamas. A lot of us don't have no real bills, so we're not bringing grown women pressure. A lot of us only just want our hair did and our nails did. So yeah, he down for that because he's cheap. He's cheap. He don't want them real pressures of paying bills and really handling business for real. You know what I'm saying? Two, our name be so good and fresh. Our credit be so good and fresh. So now he's trying to use you to put stuff in your name for him. Like, y'all gotta really pay attention sometimes. Think about it. Why is he not with somebody that's his age?
How's it?
These older men, they be predators. They be preying on us young girls so they could use us. And don't believe me if you don't want to, but I know what I'm saying is true.
She want to know, Zip.
The young bitches is always coming. They like me.
When this man pushed me.
They like you? How much they like you, my nigga? Huh? Do you be taking them back to that dirty apartment you got over there? Goma? How young, Zip? Goma? How young, Zip? I can see why you sitting up here. I see why. I see clearly why you sitting up there.
I got smoke with Fat Joe and them niggas right now. I ain't really fucking with them niggas right now, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it a buck. A buck is always gonna be a buck with me, whether it's 520s, 1010s, 25s, 250s, all 100 Newtons. A buck is always gonna be a buck with me, you heard? And TA is a sucker. TA is a hard time sucker. Cause long as Fat Joe was paying him, long as he was giving him money, son was complicit. He was okay with that nigga dealing with them young Jones. See me? Can't none of my niggas step out with no 15-year-old and I know she 15. Can't none of my niggas do that. Like, yeah, can't none of my niggas do that. Niggas, first of all, niggas want to put you down. Niggas gonna want to put you down. But niggas might not put you down. But for sure, that niggas ain't fucking with you no more. What? Still running around 15, you crazy nigga? Not gonna be what? Crazy nigga? That girl, my girl father come around this corner shooting nigga. I don't want to be nowhere near this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? So that nigga's a sucker. If you knew about the first one, we understand. You found out. Oh shit, this nigga got 15. You still fuck with 15. This nigga's waiting. This nigga was 15 in the 80s. How you gotta? Well, now you bugging, pa. I ain't fucking with you no more. You out of there. I'm off of that. I don't care what's going on in the world, nigga. I'm not dealing with this nigga no more. You messing with 15-year-olds, nigga.
So TA is the bad guy. See the manipulation? Predators are always master manipulators. Predators are always master manipulators. Just listen to them.
The young bitches is always coming. They like me.
When this man pushed the AC unit out of her window, then climbed in to attack.
Oh my God, she's a child. Come on.
She's a
I
child.
didn't expect that would have happened in the neighborhood.
Yo, listen, I don't care what the age difference is between me and you. I'm probably trying to fuck your girl and her friends in them, and not your moms and your auntie in them.
Do you still sit here and say you have never been with underage girls? Can you really say that?
The young bitches is always coming.
They like me. What grown man? What grown man announces to the world that the young bitches, they like me? Who does that? What grown man goes to the world and tells the whole world, shout out to the 4,300 people back in the building, that the young girls like him? Am I exaggerating? Am I exaggerating? Because I don't know a grown man. I know dudes sit up there and say, yo, I'm a lady. The women, they love me. The girls, they love me. The girls, they love me. No, he said the young. The young. Look like a little rat. Little roach. The young. Then he turned into a critter while he was saying it. The young. Who does that? Am I exaggerating? Como? Como? Am I exaggerating? Como? Zip got a little bit of R. Kelly in him? If Zip got a little bit of R. Kelly in him, press 1. Huh? Am I bugging? If I'm bugging, press 2 in the comment section. Do y'all detect a little bit of R. Kelly and Zip? I only played his words. The young, the young. And told you, he made it clear. Do not call me Unc. Do not call me Big Homie. Because chances are, we're going to be sleeping with the same girls. The young. They love me. They love me. Come on, my nigga. Parents, hide your kids. Damn, they took 1,000 people out of here. Come on, YouTube. Y'all gonna keep pulling people out of my life? Why y'all keep trying to dumb my channel down? Stop dumbing my channel down. That's how you know it's somebody manually playing with my channel. Because the bots ain't gonna let you go but so far. That's somebody manually doing that to my channel. It's probably Wallow punk ass. I would not be surprised if that's Wallow punk ass. All these niggas be running around stealing my content and acting like they don't be seeing me. They be straight jacking my content. Bro, stop crying about your channel. You doing good. You know what it's like. You telling me stop crying about my channel. So that's like me telling you, when you go to work and you work 40 hours in 1 week, right? But they give you 10% of your pay. You not gonna cry, my nigga? So you telling me, a nigga, that when I get my check and I know they playing with my numbers, you telling me not to cry when they shorting me probably $20,000. Who you know ain't gonna cry over $20,000? Who you know ain't gonna cry over $10,000, my nigga? Who do you know that ain't gonna cry over $20,000, my nigga? Because when you see these numbers up here, that's what these numbers equivalent to. When you see when you see a nigga up here with 4,000 and 5,000 people watching him in just 1 hour, do you know how many people really in that building? I'm going to make a video again for y'all. When this live goes off, I'm going to go to my analytics and I'm going to show y'all what it says I have in my analytics, how many people really watch this live. Then I'm going to show you the numbers that YouTube show when it goes off. The last live that I did after the live went off, it said that the live ended 9 days ago. The live ended 9 days ago. What? So, if you could miscalculate the days and the amount of people that's in the building, come on, this is Google, a superpower machine. How you miscalculating? Somebody's miscalculating on purpose. And somewhere my money and other people's money on this platform is being funneled somewhere else. So the numbers is coming in and we making more money than what they're giving us. You can never tell me not to cry over my numbers when you're playing with my check. Bitch better have my money Nah. Then y'all sitting up here and y'all watching. Every time I creep up to get close to 5,000 people in this building, they pull us back down to 3,000. Then I show y'all, it creeps back up. The people start coming back in, and they pull a whole 1,000 people right out. Like, come on. I have to say that because at some point in time, legally, I'm going to do something about it. Yeah. And I need for other channels to be able to see that somebody is hacking our accounts. They hacking it. I don't know if they putting bots on our accounts, but as a group, as a whole, we need to come together because one person can't do nothing really. We need to come together so that they can stop playing with our money. Sloppy Joe eat raw. Oh, y'all got some jokes in the comment section on Joe, huh? There's someone else that's saying the same thing about her channel. There's a lot of people that's scared to say what I'm saying about what's going on. But yes, the game is rigged. You think they really want you to see that I'm on the same level as Cam and Mace? You think they really want you to see that? No, they don't. Ask yourself a question. How many people we got watching again now? 4,000, right? Now, how long is it going to take before they snatch the people back out of the building? You think that's coincidental? This is why I don't go live no more. Now, we went from 4,000 back to 3,700. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? Am I bugging? What y'all call him, Zip Kelly? I don't see nothing wrong. What y'all call him, Zip Kelly? With a little bump and grind. I don't see nothing wrong. Zip Kelly? Young, they love me. They love you, huh? How much they love you, huh? When they call you daddy, is it because you're the same age as their daddy? Let's get to that. What? ¿Cómo? Come on.